Okay, so just to give you an example, I'll put this on my next video, assuming that YouTube doesn't shut down my channel because of the British Columbian NDP provincial government of Canada, you know, just want to keep everybody in the dark and on lockdown. Alright, anyway, you can see this person here. Now, this person here, back in the day, oh, I can't remember, I think 2017, I actually sent her a whole bunch of stuff up in the Florida area, right, because she was doing a back-to-school drive or something, and I sent her some XG Kids hats and walnut art and, you know, rave straps, and honestly, people, she didn't acknowledge it. She just blew it off like it was nothing and acted like she didn't even fucking got it, okay? I gave her all the information to my nonprofit, all of it, right, in terms of what I would have given a politician. So a lot of the things that she's been trying to do, like her little, you know, draws and her 50-50s and all that, the reason she was doing all that is because she went through the paperwork that I sent her. And, of course, now she's going to start her own little foundation and blah-bitty-blah, right? Before she'd help me, you know, she just ignored me, basically. But besides that point, people, if you Google, you know, Latrice Allen, okay, this is what comes up, okay, you know, right? And then, of course, there's, you know, there's your feature, right? You get your new ones, right? Okay, you know, and it just keeps going on. It's all Latrice, all Latrice. Mine used to look like that, right? Latrice, right? You can see, okay? Mine used to look like that until I started being spammed, right? Part and parcel with, you know, the ongoing gang stalking that my family has had to experience all this time. You can see, right? So, you know, she doesn't really talk about much, people. Nothing of substance. You know, it's about vaginas, you know, women cleaning themselves and using vinegar and, you know, it talks about somebody bought her a car and, you know, she doesn't really talk of anything of substance. But you can clearly see what YouTube has done to me. This is YouTube, people, because I have, right? I've complained about this, and they've done absolutely nothing. If anything, they are encouraging it, okay? I don't like YouTube. YouTube is a very shady company, okay? It's a very shady company. This is a government-owned and run company, okay? The cops are embedded deep, and they're obviously, right, censoring left, right, and center. They, you know, they allow criminal activity to flourish in our neighborhoods. You know, they cover up MURDER, right? You know, they participate in other activities that are not savory, right? SNUFF, right? MOVIE, right? You know, nobody can't say the finger hasn't been pointed at them before in the past with their hands caught in the, you know, behind the scenes, right? But of course, this is what happens. When you get close to the truth, this is what these types of things, individuals, do. They hit you here, they hit you here, they come up through there, they come down through there, and then they, like a pack of hyenas, they swarm you, and then they drag one off. And then they leave you there to lick your wounds, right? Hoping that they'll get infected, and you'll just disappear with that infection, right? Okay, because this is like an infection that obviously YouTube is spurring along. And, you know, it is what it is, right? But just in light of what I'm talking about, whether it's food, right? You know, prepare people. Unless, of course, you've got money coming out of you know what, then you don't need to prepare, right? But at the end of the day, a lot of this money isn't good money. So I'm happy with my little apple tree, and so is Andre. We're happy that we have the apple trees, but at the rate that I'm going with YouTube, like seriously, I'm not the first person to say this, but I think maybe I should start thinking about looking for some alternatives, right? Because, I mean, if they're just going to run the smut, basically, that's basically what they're doing to hide the truth. They're running the smut to hide the truth. Okay, that's right, you know. I mean, I can dress up and put my, you know, and give myself a little bustier up in there and, you know, and plaster on 2 pounds of makeup and, you know, go get my iron and iron my hair, right? And then glue it onto my head and, you know, do my little sexy poses for my views. But I don't do that, people, okay? I work hard, right? I try and give people, you know, motivation to not give up, right? You know, I walk them through the bullshit that I go through with the rest of my family, okay? I don't sugarcoat it, right? I don't pretend to be somebody that I'm not, right? I don't go out of my way to freaking lie and to contort the truth. And when I come across something of seriousness, like in terms of what the British Columbia government is doing to 5.1 million and a bit people, don't include that public union sector, for the most part, that's participating in this invasion of the human race, right? Okay? I'm providing links for you to go do your own investigation. I'm providing pictures for you to stop and think, really stop and think about why things are happening the way they're happening, right? As I'm clearly being gang stalked, right? And YouTube is participating in that gang stalking because they don't want the real truth of what's going on out there in the public so that 1 million people can figure it out, and then that becomes the infection that will shut the shit down in terms of the corruption, people, right? There's a lot of corruption out there, and it is beyond corruption. We're beyond the corruption. The corruption's been there for a long time. But just this last little, and I'm going to put it in here with this video. As a matter of fact, I'm going to upload this video. And you know what? I'm not going to upload another video until it's of pertinence. You can forget the canning videos. You can forget the yard videos. But the next crisis that pops up out of nowhere, like that hyena coming out from the freaking bush, then, yeah, I'll do a video, assuming that YouTube even allows me to post it. Because at the rate things are going, people, they don't like what I talk about. They've never liked me talking about Andre. They've never liked me talking about Uncle John. They've never liked me talking about ShaMay. All right? They don't like me talking about Amari. And you honestly think that they want me talking about what the provincial government is doing currently with their fake pre-recorded live streams as they restream them to be legitimate? Hell no. They don't want that because YouTube is in partnership with the government. The government pays YouTube to encourage trolls to harass innocent people and to stalk innocent people. This is what YouTube does, right? And then, when the shit gets hot, in terms of I'm ignoring it to the best of my ability, and I'm still talking about very, very serious things, and what does YouTube do? They completely, practically wipe me out so that, you know, it's going to be hard to find people. Because what? They don't want Dr. Henry Bonney exposed right along with Adrian Dixon, John Horgan, and any of other of those so-called individuals be exposed for the liars that they are, as they're causing irreparable damage and death and permanent injury to thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people for the next 50 years? Think about it, people. Well, this woman, is laughing her ass off. Right? Because I'm mad. Hey, I'm mad. YouTube's making me mad. When she's not trying to make me mad, YouTube is making me mad. Right? But I'm doing the right thing, people. I am doing the right thing. I found a lie and I've exposed it where people have a means to stand up and fight back. And for that, I'm not going to bow down and let these so-called, I don't know, who's censoring? AI? Artificial intelligence? No, it's somebody sitting at the freaking servers watching. That's what's happening, people. Okay? Don't blame this on AI. No, this is somebody internally on YouTube that's being tweaked with the freaking cops because even the cops don't want the truth to get out there. Okay, so it's still August 11th, right, 2020. You can see it's back now. See, latest from New Nations Unity. So they gave it back to me, they took it away, and then they gave it back, okay? At least I get the two going, right? At least I get those two. After that, though, people, this is what I get. Look at that. Look how her spam comes in. Do you see? That's all. You know who. Oh, there's another one right there. And then it slows down, but there's another one. There's another one. Oops. You can see. Well, 3 in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then it goes back to mine. Back to mine. Anyway, just out of curiosity, let's do Google search one more time with images, because the last time I did it, it was worse than it was worse than before. I don't know what I get for this, okay? This obviously brings up the foundation a bit more. Let's just see what we get. Well, they kept that one clean. That one's not being spent. Well, yeah, no, there it is right there. You can see it. There it is again, right? There it is again, right? Okay. There it is again. So it's spamming into the foundation one, right? You can see that, right? But, you know, YouTube doesn't care about any of that, right? They're too busy going around silencing truthers. Okay, so now I just did it like that. Let's just do images and see what we get. Look how many. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14, that's what, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. All she has to do is put the word New Nations Unity in there. And then she comes in with her little snide remarks or whatever, right? Here she's one step ahead of me, right? And obviously YouTube backs her up. What was it? 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, right? 20. Do you see? This is what she's doing. And they don't consider this to be spam. Right, here it is again. This is not mine. The difference between her yard and my yard. She doesn't even have a yard. Here's another one, right? Okay. Okay. So, let's backtrack. Let's just go into YouTube. Where does it take me? It takes me to my page, right? So, go back into YouTube. Search out New Nations Unity. Okay, they gave me back my 2. So I'm going to upload this little video, right? Not getting very many views right now anyway, right? Okay, so I just wanted you to see this. Okay? That's all hers. They're burying mine. They're using her to bury what I'm talking about, people. Or they're just bringing in random videos that have nothing to do with me. Okay? But if I take you to somebody that makes money off of YouTube, right? Solicited donations and all this other stuff, which I sent out all the way out to Florida. I have video of it, people. Right? You know, spent a fair amount of money, right? And she got all the information on the nonprofit. And look, they're not spamming her shit. Nope. And she's got ad revenues, right? Everything. And she doesn't really talk about much. She really doesn't. She says she's going to start a foundation, but she hasn't, right? She was doing 50-50s there for a while, but she stopped because, you know, you have to do them legally, and she wasn't. So she has to go found herself a nonprofit, get registered. She has to register her 50-50s, right? She has to do everything legitimately, which I provided her an opportunity to do so through the trademark if she was willing to help me. But she didn't want to help me, right? Because that wasn't the agenda. But if you notice, YouTube doesn't let, I'm just using her as an example here, YouTube doesn't let anyone infiltrate her stuff and take over her shit, and she's not even a registered trademark, okay? She just feeds into the old okie dokie in terms of, again, she doesn't really talk of anything of substance. You know, she talks about vagina washes and you know, stuff like that, and she'll make a few meals here and there. She likes to eat crab, right? You know? Do you see? It's all hers. All hers. But not when you go into New Nations Unity. No. No. YouTube is letting, you know who take over the trademark. That's basically what's happening here. Right? They're saying it's a dispute between myself and the trademark the person who's infringing on the trademark. So basically, at some point, I may have to take this person to court to get this removed. Right? That's the only way. Because if I don't, it's just getting worse and worse and worse as she encourages other people to stalk my house. Right? You know, talking, you know, accusing me of murdering my own daughter, poisoning her slowly, so I could go that day to the courthouse and get a Mari for myself so I can pay my rent. And this is what YouTube is promoting.